I grew up in Bosnia. It's actually a small industrial town called Tuzla. And the one thing I always kind of knew was that I wanted to explore the world. And the opportunity showed itself when I realized that there is such a thing as a high school exchange program to the United States. I was 17 years old when my parents said yes to this idea of me going abroad for a year. So that's how I came to the United States. Former Yugoslavia at the time was going through lots of problems and conflicts, but nobody in Bosnia believed, at least nobody I knew, believed that there was ever going to be a war. I fully came to realize that my town and my country is in a major war. My parents pretty much insisted that I stay. And now looking back, it's almost difficult to digest the fact I had a passport of a country that no longer existed. Everything I imagined my future was going to be is also gone, and my present is non-existent. For a while, I was waiting for the war to end so I can go back home. But then I also realized that I maybe should find also ways to kind of immerse myself in the life in the United States. And Corcoran School of Art was really crucial. That was really important to me, to really find a place to belong to. It's really about a place where you can find that sense of belonging on a deeper level. The great thing about moving to New York in 1999, which now seems so far away, we had this incredible creative energy with artists of so many different art disciplines, from filmmakers to musicians to visual artists, and we all kind of tried to find ways to work together and to create this energy together. Being an artist in New York for a long time, I really had that one great mission that we all kind of dream of while being in art school, which is to live off your art and to exhibit at galleries and for people to want to purchase your work. But once you accomplish that, you realize that art can have even a stronger message and can be even more powerful than just being a commodity. So I designed a postage stamp that was really about celebrating peace. So it was a bird of freedom painted over the view of Sarajevo from above. And everybody loved the stamp. The mayor loved the stamp, the postmaster loved the stamp. And then I got a phone call that the postage stamp was censored, that it was banned. But I realized at first, I was upset, obviously. But then that censorship actually answered the question that I've been asking myself ever since I graduated art school, which is visual art still important? So I decided to create a sculpture of this bird that was painted because I wanted an object in space that I really want to extend kind of my hand to the public and really speak the language that the public will understand. I designed the sculpture as just 2 strips of metal that are shaped into a stylized bird, like 2 messages or 2 hands connecting. Let's talk about this thing called freedom. Let's have this conversation as people who have experienced war and who know what turmoil is and who know what it feels or looks like to lose your freedom. And the first installation, Think Freedom, was actually presented at the Sarajevo City Hall in 2015. It was just newly rebuilt City Hall that was burned down in the war. So after the first installation of Think Freedom in 2015, for me, that opening that evening was really going to be it. That was going to be mine and a statement from those kids that worked with me about how we felt about our world and ourselves and everything that was going on around us. But the next morning I woke up and Associated Press actually published the photograph from the installation as the global image of the day. And then another amazing thing happened, which is that the Vatican Embassy asked me to donate 1 sculpture so they can gift it to the Pope as their present as the Pope Francis was coming to Sarajevo for the first time in 2015. And maybe the power of this piece is really about connecting all those pieces from different cities and messages from different cities into one. So we've been in now 26 cities. Now, 10 years later, we're in Dayton, Ohio.
Bringing this installation to the Dayton Arcade is sort of a match made in the heavens, if you will, because we have all been very excited about the renovation of this historic building. And when you think about the architecture, that dome in the rotunda and all the light that floods in and the reflections across the room, you can just envision these birds installed and seeing the shadows and the light dancing.
Think Freedom is a site-specific installation. And I started working with young architects and architecture students in each city that I go to, and students of fine arts and design, because I really don't see myself as the sole author of this installation. Being in Dayton in this moment is really special to me because it is happening not just on the 10th anniversary of Think Freedom, but also on the 30th anniversary of the Dayton Peace Accord.
I know that for me personally, there's that initial awestruck moment, where, wow, this is just incredible. It's different than looking at even a beautiful, flat visual piece of art because it's 3D and it has movement and it changes with light and it's so grand in its scope. And I think that we should go internally and think about what freedom means to us, especially during a time where that comes into question.
I think it's incredible to understand that not every peace agreement has lasted 30 years. Not every peace agreement and peace accord has had that kind of impact on not just one nation, but the whole region. As like this Bosnian who's also American and who's also Bosnian and also American, I think it's wonderful to maybe for the first time in my life have those two things completely connected, like these sculptures are connected with wire, and to have this understanding where both worlds are coming together.